part 3 in a series of videos exploring the exciting world of quadratics. In this video, we will talk about how to solve a quadratic. As always, our first step is to set our quadratic equal to 0. In this case, I had to add 8 on each side. My new quadratic is x squared minus 9x plus 18 equals 0. And now we also have determined our coefficients as before. And now if I want to solve this, remember that a solution is I'm looking for an x value that makes this a true mathematical statement. So what value of x can I plug in here and have it turn out to be 0? First, let's talk about what that means graphically. Graphically, I have the graph of my quadratic shown here. We can see that it is my parabola. And what I'm looking for is when this parabola is equal to 0. Well, it just so happens to be equal to 0 when it crosses the x-axis. So I see that my parabola crosses the x-axis here and here. That implies I have two solutions, and the solutions are x equals 3 and x equals 6. So if I'm given the graph, I can simply read off the solutions. The solutions correspond to where my parabola crosses the x-axis. I read off the corresponding x value, 3 and 6. However, if I'm not given the graph, and I don't really have a method for graphing, there is a formula that will always work. Our formula is minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 ac all divided by 2a. And now it should become apparent why we are interested in these coefficients. All right, now all I have to do is to plug in. So I get minus b. In place of b, I'm going to put my minus 9. Okay, plus or minus the square root of b squared, or minus 9 squared, minus 4 times a, which in this case is 1, times c, which in this case is 18, all divided by 2a, or 2 times 1. Now, minus of minus 9 gives me 9, okay, plus or minus the square root of 9 squared gives me 81, minus, because I've got minus 4 times a 1 times a 18, so that gives me a negative 72, all over 2 times 1, which is 2. Keep going, I get 9 plus or minus 81 minus 2 gives me 9, the square root of 9, over 2. Well, we know the square root of 9 is going to be 3, so this is going to become 3. And it's important to remember that this is two different problems. The first one is 9 plus the square root of 9 over 2, and the second one is 9 minus the square root of 9 over 2. The square root of 9 is 3, so in this case I get 9 plus 3, which is 12, divided by 2, which gives me 6. Again, the square root of 9 is 3. In this case I get 9 minus 3, which is 6, divided by 2, which gives me 3. So the solutions to this quadratic, using the quadratic formula, are x equals 6, okay, and x equals 3. There's two solutions. All right, in this particular case, we've used the quadratic with formula, which is minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. We get these letters simply based on our coefficients. And our solutions here of 6 and 3 correspond, if we look at it graphically, to where our parabola crosses the x-axis, here at 3 and here at 6.